Speak Between the Lines podcast.
The shit that's uncool to talk about,
we make cool to listen to.
All right, man. Speak Between the Lines podcast, episode 110. It's your boy Young Rez.
joined with J-Rock.
Young A Sweet in the building, back from Tennessee.
What's up? What's up?
My boy,
King A may or may not be jumping on. We don't know yet.
King A may or may not be in this time zone right now. I don't know what he's doing, bro. He got a laptop that ain't charging.
He got a computer that's not working.
You want to hear something real crazy?
Shoot.
I can hear J-Rock.
Yo, I'm done with this. Yo, I'm
done with y'all. I'm done with y'all.
I'm done.
I'm done with all of y'all. All of this. It's above me now.
Man.
This guy.
I'm not gonna play this game today.
Well, you know what? Then here's what I'll do. I'll start talking, and then I'll just translate.
Yeah. Might as well. Yeah. Try it.
All right. Cool. So, Last Dance, episode 5 and 6, aired last night. I'm gonna kick it off real quick on this tidbit. My boy Lando said, "Roll the credits."
Now you good.
Go ahead.
All right. Kobe got a little emotional.
Yes.
Got a little emotional.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if anybody else got an eerie feeling watching him talk and be talked about, but that kind of just, you forget, like, it's weird because celebrities, they're not really up in our faces like that every single day. So like when he retired, he's been out of the picture, in and out, back and forth. So with all this quarantine stuff, it's easy to forget, like, damn, like Kobe gone. So that was just a reminder, and I was like, yo, them niggas knew he was gonna be a beast, bro. Like, they knew. Yeah. Them boys talking about you in the halftime locker room, they know. They know who you are.
I was gonna say, I tweeted it earlier, bro. I feel like that they probably had more footage of Kobe for this doc. They probably had him saying a little bit more than what they showed. I just feel like they were like, okay, you know what? Let's just do just a little bit because maybe, we're not just ready yet. I was not ready. I'm not gonna lie, I was not ready. I wasn't ready. So, but I mean, it was definitely a moment. Like it did, like, to do it at the very, very beginning to set the stage for the rest of the doc was very, very phenomenal. But I ain't gonna lie to you, that was a very, very tough segment to watch. It was very tough to watch.
Man, because it brought you back to Michael Jordan talking at Kobe's funeral. Like hearing Jordan say a couple months ago, yo, Kobe's my little brother, then have Kobe say, yo, that's my big brother.
Yeah.
Back to back like that. It's like,
That was looking at all the tweets, the Instagram posts, all of that, man. It was like a continuous thing to where, like, you just saw all of the comparison. Even when Kobe was saying, like, like the feel, you get to feel how he moves, and he was pattering his game. I was like, golly, like this is real. I will say this though. This is one thing I say, can almost put some things to rest about that comparison. Kobe said it out of his mouth. Stop doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just stop with the comparisons pieces. Like, stop saying, hey, 101, who went? No, like, without him, he said there wouldn't be a 5 him. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't got those 5 ships if it wasn't for MJ. At the same time, like, I feel like Kobe took that game that Mike had. Because Mike said it himself. He took the game that Mike had, and he did advance it. But it wouldn't have been a Kobe without the MJ at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, so we do need to stop that noise altogether. Just like I said last week, as far as, like, comparing people saying so-and-so wouldn't be where they were without this person. Just stop the noise. Like, just stop the noise. Let these boys play. We know who the GOAT is, all right? And we know who the greatest are. And so let them just be great, and just stop all the actual comparison. Because that was one thing that Kobe said. I was like, okay, you know what? We heard it from him. He said, stop it. Cool. I'm done with it. I'm not saying it anymore. You know what I mean? So that's what I was at with it. That was like one of my biggest takeaways from that segment. For sure.
The only thing I think I was a little disappointed on is I thought they were going to show the game where Kobe and the Lakers were playing Chicago, and Kobe scored like 33 points And remember, Jordan and Kobe was going back and forth. I thought they were really going to go into that game because, like, they were cherry picking like special moments from '98, and that was a moment. And so I was like, I was a little disappointed that we ended up in the playoffs by the end of this 2 episodes, and we didn't get that moment.
Well, like I
feel like they had that in the tuck. I feel like they had that in the tuck. I think they had it there.
But you just want to be overloaded.
Exactly. I just don't think they wanted, everyone just to be overloaded with all those emotions, and to me, it's definitely understandable. But I'm with you. I would have loved to see it. It would have been hard to watch, but I would have loved to see it. I would love to see it.
Yeah, like this whole first episode could have been the Kobe Michael episode.
Pass the torch.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like it probably would have been leading up to Dream Team, but because everything's going on with Kobe, it's like, well, we don't want to get it too emotional on that aspect of, because once you do that, now the actual doc shifts to Kobe versus Mike.
So actually that brings up a good segue then. Let's talk about the Dream Team then. So are you guys familiar with those legendary, scrimmages they used to run against each other? As far as like, there's a story that Magic Johnson wasn't ready to concede to Jordan until the 1992 Dream Team, even though he had already lost the championship the year before. There was this sense that Magic was competing with Michael, so like they'd be gambling, and then Magic would try to stay up as late as Jordan to gamble. There was this back and forth banter that was rumored to be going on, that Magic was like, it's not your league yet. You only got one. You know what I'm saying? Like we got multiples. No, not multiples. You only got 2. Magic said he had 5. Larry got 3. You ain't even passed us yet. It's not your league.
But you can't be mad for that mindset, because like Larry and Magic dominated the 80s.
Facts.
And then absolutely. Jordan, they're looking at this up and comer coming up, trying to take my, he trying to take my crown. So I get it.
Yeah, but he definitely, I think he took it in the Dream Team. I don't even think he took the 3rd chip. I think by the time that scrimmage was over and Magic had to get back on that bus, I think everybody in the world knew, all right, nobody's seeing this guy. Like, and I think they even said it on the doc, like, he was at a different level. Like, he was the alpha among alphas. And it's just amazing to see somebody put their imprint on greatness like that. Like, it's one thing to be great, but it's like when you're around greatness and you still are like a notch above, like that's crazy to me. Like, only the best players in the world play in the NBA. So to be the best out of everybody by far, because nobody was seeing him. I know Charles Barkley was saying before the finals he didn't think anybody in the world was better than him. I don't know what.
But you gotta have that energy about yourself. You know what I'm saying? To actually compete against people.
What'd you say, Sweet?
I was saying, like, to Barkley's point, like he said, but he didn't play him. But then you got to think about too during that run. I'm sure we're gonna get to it later on. They had the best record in the league that year. Remember, he won MVP that year. So I mean, maybe he was like, snap. I could be possibly that guy. You know what I mean? But obviously, MJ shut that down real quick.
Quick.
But he doesn't see that. That's all.
Speaking of shut down, man, Tony Kukoc, bro. That was
a good storyline.
Man,
that was something new that I did learn for sure. I
you didn't know about that?
I didn't know about him, his situation back home. That was that was kind of new.
Yeah.
And then I like how the narrator, whoever was saying that where he was living at the time, a lot of overseas players that are growing up in like a war-infested area, us as Americans, especially like, the MJs or whatever the case may be, they're looking like, okay, these guys can't be as tough as us. Right. You got to understand, like, he was in the middle of a full-fledged war and was still balling. So you got to have a different type of energy. And that was something that was new to me. definitely. As far as that goes with Tony Takuka. I mean, heck, I had no idea. Honestly, I didn't know where he was from. You know what I mean? I didn't know that he was from. What was it? He was from. Let me Google that real quick. I forgot what he was from.
But it's like,
but I'm gonna let y'all
go on that point.
Look it up.
Now, one reason why I feel like most NBA players have that is because most NBA players have the story of Scottie Pippen. Grew up with nothing, had to fight to make it. So what they see as tough is growing up, getting out of the hood, getting out of a terrible situation, and still giving back to your family and still performing and competing at the highest level.
Right.
So essentially, that's what Tony's story is. But we're not, as Americans, we're not used to seeing that from anybody else, except for people who look like us.
Right.
Your bad is different from my bad. Your growing up in the struggle is gonna be different from my growing up in the struggle. You know what I mean? Like you made a great point, Rock. Like going from Croatia, that's what it was. Going from where Penny was from, small little town in Arkansas. That was a struggle for him. Having making sure that when he got to leave, he had people that he had to take care of. People that are actually in wheelchairs, things of that nature. But Tony's struggle was different. I mean, his country was literally in war, walking around, shooting, things of that nature. Like it was actual war zone. It was just definitely like a different struggle. That actually made me think of when y'all brought that up. I was talking to my homeboy about this earlier, man. I really feel like this episode of these two parts of the doc, it was a lot of little gems in there where it was just bigger than basketball. It wasn't just about the great Michael Jordan. There was a lot of other little small things like that. How somebody's struggle is different from mine. I can't judge a book by its cover. I don't know what you're going through.
Yeah,
right.
And just in life in general, you know what I mean? Like there's like a lot of stuff going on with different people, and just because your struggle is not like mine, don't mean you're not struggling.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just different from mine. And like, for them to see that and then obviously see him after the, during the championship game, hit this switch and start balling.
Right.
And he gained the respect of a lot of those players off of that right there. So, that was just like one of those incidents where I feel like is definitely bigger than just basketball. These two episodes.
I'm trying to figure out why King Gabe's in the comment section too. I wasn't gonna say it yet. I wasn't gonna be the one. I like what is going on.
So Landis asked question, why is King Gabe in the comment section? Like Abe is having technical difficulties right now where he's unable to get online as of right now. So we got Abe fact checking in the comment section. We appreciate that.
It's not your fault, bro. It's not your fault.
It's probably my fault, bro. I feel like this thing does great with 3 people streaming. I'm not gonna be here probably next week, so I'm thinking that's what it is. I feel bad. I'm like, all right, damn, I gotta make sure I come correct this episode.
Abe just don't want to record with us. It's all right, cool. It's cool. It's cool. We love him. We
believe
just to be fact checking while we just talking, bro. Let's tell everybody just keep fact checking while we talking. We do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You just stat sheet stuff, bro. All right. Oh, hold up. There was one thing I wanted to get to on the doc about how hard it is to be Mike. I'm glad that they went into that they talked about like, you know what, everybody want to be like Mike, but that's cool for a couple hours. Like, would you want to do it for a year? And when they showed this dude at the hotel, he had a cigar, he chilling out. He said, "I'm watching TV. It's peaceful." But the moment that door opens, it's pandemonium. It doesn't. It don't stop.
What's funny about that? Because as soon as I saw that, it was on a previous episode. I had to go back and find what number episode. Abe came with a quote from Kevin Hart's book: "Is you see all these people you idolizes, but when you really have to walk them out in their shoes, would you be willing to give up what they're willing to give up?"
Right.
So for this man's entire run in sports, even in baseball, every time he leaves the house, your life is literally no longer your own. Like, we over here tripping about being in quarantine. That's the only time he ever had peace.
Damn.
At home with the damn doors locked where no cameras can get in. Because as soon as he goes out.
After this thing. Let me ask you this, because that brings up next point, talking about that aspect. And back to my point about, it's bigger than basketball.
Mm.
The MJ that we know now today, like the past, plus years, probably like the past 20 years, we don't see a lot of MJ if we just call a spade. We don't.
Yeah,
we see Magics, we see the Charles Barkleys, the Shaqs, people that came up with him. Heck, even like Larry Bird and things of that nature. We don't really see that much of Mike.
Right.
Do you think, just for his mental sanity now, especially that incident that was going on with him during that time where that the book came out in the articles?
Yeah.
Do you think during that time period that kind of changed his whole perspective? He's like, you know what? Me being Michael Jordan, I have to be a recluse now just for my mental sanity. Because heck, he could have went crazy, dealing with the flashing lights all the time.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I think mental health is something that isn't really spoken on much when it comes to celebrities and living that life. And basically, the camera's always on. Like, I can only imagine with the social media age what it would be like. But like, even in that day, like, it's funny because we talk about how like athletes get talked about for doing crazy things. This dude went to the fucking casino in Atlantic City, mm-hmm. and then he's on the news all day getting blasted. Mm-hmm. And so I can only imagine like everything's being watched, everything's being monitored. Mm-hmm. You're never truly alone. You got your handlers with you, you got your security with you, you got your team with you. I mean, you got your business partners where he got to meet with Nike and all these other things. He's never really got a moment of peace, ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. Never. If he's at the club, groupies trying to get on you. If you at the gym, you walk in, like, what are you gonna say no to a kid that's like in a wheelchair asking for an autograph? And then you could be stuck there forever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got a question. Since you brought up the casino, and I'm glad that they shed light on this because I have my answer. Do you think he had a gambling addiction?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm torn on it because
I don't.
I don't necessarily feel like it was a addiction, but I feel like it fed into him being a competitor. Because in order for you to compete, if there's a price to pay to do it, that means the other person's going to be serious about it. So, like, if anybody can walk up and challenge you, and he'll be on the golf court all day, but if it's $1,000 a hole, and you don't believe in your skill set enough to play him, why would I waste my time playing you? So I think that fed into a part of his competitive nature. I mean, do I think he struggled with gambling? I wouldn't necessarily call it him being a gambling addict. I think it just fed into him being a competitor in everything he did. Because like even in the documentary that showed him just throwing quarters he's betting that. Mm-hmm. Because he always wants to be the best. Like when they showed him on the plane, they're playing cards for $1,000, and then you have the other players playing this dollar games of poker or blackjack, whatever. It's like, I want to say I could take your money. So the money wasn't about the money. It was about to say that I'm taking it from you. I'm gonna be the best.
Why do you think he has an addiction, Red? I am, like I said, I don't think he does, and I'll tell you why. I don't think he has an addiction problem.
I think, okay, you know what? I might soften my stance on that, just because an addiction is something that like you can't turn off. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Has he turned it off? Because my thing is this: like, just because you have the resources to do something doesn't necessarily mean that you're not an addict. Like, some people like were saying like, okay, well, he's not addicted to it because he's not gambling stuff that's putting him into poverty. I think he even said that in his interview. But for me, that's straight PR. I would do that. Like if I was a PR person and I'm like, MJ, we got to spend this. I'm going to say, yes, talk about your competitiveness. Like, we're going to talk about how basically you just compete in everything. But fam, you can't say no to gambling $1,000 holes at golf. I mean, I know you got the money to burn, but you got to take Tony Kukoc's $1 for cars. Like, it's just, I think there's a thrill in actually doing that. I don't know if you can say it's the gambling itself, but I think he does get an adrenaline from that. I guess you could say it's competition. I don't know, fam. I mean, I've heard some crazy stories about MJ. Like,
I think, and like he said in the doc, because like this was something that I was always unclear on. I've heard about the rumors like, oh, MJ has this big gambling problem.
Big facts,
to Jonathan's point about Slim was,
big facts, bro.
We'll definitely get to that. I will say this though. He said himself, I feel like it can be a hobby if you can't do anything else. MJ couldn't go to the movies unless he rent out the whole theater. He couldn't go bowling unless he rent out the whole theater. That was his hobby. It was, I mean, hey, you got professional poker players. We don't call them, we don't say they have an addiction problem. Like, I mean, gambling is some way, shape, form, or fashion a sport. Some people make gambling their actual job. I've seen that, but like doing things of that nature. So, to his point, for me, I feel like any addiction, and I would like to Google the word, if the addiction takes time or energy from anything else because you can't stop doing it, I feel like that's an addiction. Gambling, even he said himself, it didn't take away from his skill or will on the basketball court. Mm-hmm. He showed up to his job. He practiced. He had his endorsement deals. He was checking off all the boxes, and this was the one thing that he had to do that was actually fun. And yes, you're right. He had it to blow. Now, does that give him the? I mean, I feel like now seeing that, I'm gonna take a little step back and like actually take into consideration. All right, really, did he have a gambling problem, or was the media fishing for some chink in this man's armor? And I feel like they couldn't find anything else. So he's always in the casino. He must have a gambling problem.
You know what?
I feel like media spin that whole thing. To your point, you said 2 weeks ago about media. Yeah. I feel like media spin that. And like put that out there on mic. Because heck, like I said, an addiction to me, it has to take away from family. It has to take away from your job. Like you can't, like it's like an actual itch. He done got an itch. It's just his competitive nature, like what J-Rock said. So
you converted me. Between that and Rev's statement about this ain't the Pete Rose situation, that's fair. I get it. So yeah, I'll soften on that one.
That's all I'm saying. That's all. I'm just curious to that because, like I said, I've heard a lot of sports commentators and writers and like heck, even like just older people that I know that grew up during the time. It was like, oh man, like he's a big gambler and he like to smoke cigars. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, if he was addicted to anything, it's probably cigars.
Yeah.
He was tough for them joints.
Nah, he was addicted to snitching. He was addicted to snitching.
Oh snap! He did snitch a little bit this week too.
Damn.
He did snitch.
As soon as I saw him, like, yep, my boy let me down.
I was trying to hold it off. I was trying to get into it, dog. Like, go ahead. This nigga bad.
Yeah, it's like now. So how you got a endorsement with Gatorade talking about Gatorade fill you up? He said after the game, nah, damn Gatorade, give me a nice cold beer.
Like, yes. When I saw that right there, bro, I was like, I'm done.
He said, back when I first started playing,
oh my God, MJ,
they used to get a whole case. Oh my God. So they're coke heads, they're weed heads.
Back to the weed, back to the girls.
And it's always everybody but him. Come on, MJ.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, bro. It's always everybody but him. You was there, bro. You said,
I think some of the players got it from the coaches. Like, what?
Yes. I was like, dang, bro. Like, why are you throwing everybody under the bus?
Boy, it ain't even dry. Boy, that's some wet snitching.
Yo.
Exactly.
Real talk, though. This nigga dude, he averaged about 1.8 snitches a game, dog.
1.8 a game, bro. 1.8 snitches.
Yo, that average is up there, bro.
Bro, that might be snitching big time. But yeah, like I just want to clear the air on that whole gambling thing. Like I feel like it was again, back to it's bigger than basketball. I feel like it is one of those things where he needed something. Everybody needs a hobby, bro. Mm-hmm. Like you can't like his basketball to him. He loved the game. I'm not taking it, but it was still his job.
Right.
You know, he still had a lot of pressure. He had a lot of eyes on him. Remember when he went down 2 games to the Knicks?
Yep.
You know, he started feeling the pressure, so he had to start coming to work a little bit more. What do you do? What do you do for your mental sanity? What do you do to get away from everything? Get away from the media. Get away from your life, your job. What do you do? What he did was he said he played golf, and he liked to go into the casino and gamble. That's what he liked to do.
Facts. But let's talk about them Knicks though, because
let's do it.
Jordan got pressed
for this subject.
Jordan got pressed. He got pressed on the court and he got pressed off the court. He got pressed on the court because them boys, they took that 2-game lead. They was giving the Bulls the blues. That's the Eastern Conference Finals. That's not a first or second round. Like that's money time.
Yep.
Like, to go for the chip. And the same way.
Real quick, Wes. To respond to Landis, absolutely not. I'm thinking.
Hell no.
Was too competitive to actually point sake. I don't think he was getting like that. Now I did hear rumors that was like one of the reasons why like he probably went away for a little bit when he took that one more time. There's so many conspiracies.
That's a whole different. Yeah,
I cannot wait till next week so we can clear it up because I want to know like why.
I don't think they're going to address it.
Wait, I don't even think they're going to clear it up.
I don't think they're not going to address it.
You think that?
I think they are. Yeah.
That's I don't know. I spin cycle that one
because like this episode, these episodes was the perfect one to address it because they talked about gambling. And
like the next episode,
but the next episode
when he went away,
yeah.
I think that's going to be the perfect time. I think they're going to address like what was the real reason. I know he didn't want to play baseball. I
remember they were saying word on the street was David Stern actually had to suspend Jordan, so it was like a fake retirement because they were saying he did have a gambling issue, and so that was a rumor that was floating around for years. So we'll see how they do that little story because his father's involved. I mean, it's a lot, bro. I don't know if they can legitimately put that on TV. Like
so this was 5 and 6. This was 5 and 6, right?
Yeah. So we got 2 more weeks.
So we got 2 more weeks. I think they're gonna get to it.
Well, don't they got to do because they're gonna have to do all 3 championships. They got 3 more chips to get. And only got 4 episodes.
Do like a little flashback thing they've been doing, like a little back and forth deal.
We run out of time, bro. We only got 4 hours, bro. We run out of time. Like, what you talking about?
I want to see it. I need to know. I need to know the answer to it.
I mean, but like, even when you look at clearing stuff up with the whole Isaiah Thomas and then the Dream Team, they really kind of brushed through that.
For real.
You think so?
Quickly.
I
thought that was going to be. Hey, the way Isaiah Thomas was doing his press run,
man, I thought it was going to be major.
Fam, I was like, oh, he must have seen something like it must be something big going on.
Like he was trying to get people ready. Like Isaiah been talking for 2 weeks about this.
Straight up. For 5 minutes. 5 minutes of airtime. I'm like, that was it.
I gotta go back and watch. I feel like they addressed it. And like the way they addressed it was this. Nobody wanted to play with him.
I mean, which is what they said. So they teed it up saying Jordan got the call. He said, who's all on the team?
Yep.
It said the person you're worried about is not playing. And that's all Jordan said about it.
Yep.
Then they
but that's enough stand to me. I mean, he didn't want to play with him.
Wait, did he snitch on Magic?
Didn't want to play with him. Huh?
Did he snitch on Magic? Was he on the episode saying Magic? God damn, Jordan. All right, he had 2.2.
Jordan did say, Jordan did say Magic had problems with him. Larry had problems with him. He went down the list. He said Karl Malone had problems with him. He was definitely name dropping again, as per usual. I feel like they cleared it up, man.
It's surface level though. They didn't get into why everybody didn't want to play. Same way they didn't get into the.
I mean, it's Bad Boys Pistons. Like he was
like the way he played.
He was the leader of the Bad Boys.
But what about Magic and what about Larry and what about Scotty? Like they didn't dig into that. Like they didn't remember the All-Star game where Jordan got froze out. They didn't even show that.
Exactly. So
that's what I'm saying. Like they're kind of skimming in and out of stuff.
I mean, the way I saw it, the way that they presented was he was already out before they even approached Jordan to be on the team. Is how they made the doc see it. So it's like the way the doc presents, like Jordan's like, well, he was already out, before I was even on the team. So
That's not true, dog. Because, like, fam, this has been reported so many times over the last, like, 15, 20 years. MJ had the veto power. MJ said, if he's on a team, I'm not playing. That whole conversation about, the guy you're worried about, he's not there. Nah, nigga.
Yeah,
MJ said straight up,
straightforward. It was never straightforward.
If he on the team, I'm not playing. And he the biggest star in the world. You're not going to the freaking Olympics without Michael Jordan. Yep. So yeah, Isaiah, you gotta go, bro. Just say that.
So hey. To me, and again, I feel like you're absolutely right. So I feel like it was addressed. MJ didn't want him to play.
It was very very light.
All right.
He tried to make it seem like he really had the issue of it.
It's his doc. It's okay. Watch the Dream Team. It's a little different. All right. So MJ got pressed in the playoffs. And I remember, I think Max Kellerman, like a week or two ago, was talking about MJ was never in trouble in the playoffs. You know, we try to do this whole mythical thing with Jordan. Like, he was just untouchable. He never had a challenge. He never got pressed. He never really had his back against the wall. And I'm like, y'all tripping, because how would he become great if he never had his back against the wall? Like, he had to overcome some sort of adversity. And so just like with the Pistons, New York comes in with that same physical style, and they take a 2-0 lead, and Jordan gets into media trouble in the midst of that. Same way if we saw LeBron on a banana boat or some shit, and then right after he lost a playoff game, we'd be like, hell is he doing? They did MJ the exact same way. It wasn't no different. Yeah. The rules wasn't different for MJ. He got the business just like everybody else. But you know what? He came back and he swept them boys. He swept them.
And
4 games in a row.
I feel like he did that because he needed that clarity. He needed that time to get away, like he said. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. The media was gonna find something. That's their job. I mean, they're looking for that juicy story. A good juicy story is one that's gonna downplay somebody that is here.
Right.
Yeah. If you can find somebody that's here and bring it right here, I can sell that. You know, because everybody's talking about how good you are. Let me find something that is negative. But hey, look, to your point, when he came back, it was business. It was business.
They be trying to act like Jordan just beat a bunch of bums. Like the teams that he was beating weren't good.
Thank you.
The Knicks.
Thank you,
bro.
Knicks was bad boys.
They were stacked.
Phoenix.
Charles Barkley and them boys had the best record in the league at the time.
Facts.
When he won their finals. I mean, like, these ain't no scrubs this man was playing against.
Bro, put in a context like this. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even have home court advantage.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Like, fam, the Bulls went through some teams. Like, people sleep on that Cavaliers team. Cavs weren't good for the first time with LeBron. Them boys had a squad back then. Yeah. And they were competing. They were the young guns with the Bulls. So it's just like I like that they're actually highlighting that. They're showing people that, the competition was real. Like the back and forth of the game was a real thing. It wasn't like the Warriors blowing people out by like 15, 20 points.
Yeah.
They were edging those
that we saw, those scores
are very close.
Like 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? I feel like the only team that they probably blew it out was Portland when he played Clyde.
Yeah.
I believe. You know what
these
I mean?
games are close, but you point shaving. Come on now.
No, bro. He not point. Listen, Jordan. How can you point shave and you still putting up 30 and 40 in an L?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Point saving to me means if by definition,
these points gotta go down.
If you're not scoring, he's still giving you buckets.
You know what?
Many of them.
Hey, Stephen M. Smith just made a great point. He said the problem is the Eastern Conference Finals were bigger adversaries than the finals. So a lot of people look at the finals versus the entire road. I'm a big proponent of looking at the entire road. And that's why I kind of get mad at LeBron fans sometimes, because they don't look at the entire road. They just kind of look like, fam.
Like when LeBron was dominating the East?
Yes. I'm like, come on, fam. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like Jordan had the complete opposite of
The
LeBron.
complete opposite.
The finals was in the Eastern Conference.
He had to fight to get to the finals.
He had a fight to get to the finals.
Him getting to the finals is him winning.
I wasn't gonna do no more LeBron hate. I told you I was
No, I'm
no
just
LeBron
saying,
hate, bro. But it's facts.
Like, come on, man, we gotta stop that. And you know, ESPN the last week they've been real big on saying like nobody's beaten more 60+ win teams than Michael Jordan. You know who's number 2 on that list? Is Kobe. Kobe has beaten the second. He's the second most 60+ win team beating ass nigga in the world of basketball.
In the West, while the West was around.
But
Dallas was around.
But people be sleeping on him. Fam. Like, come on, man. Miss me with that, dog. But yeah, dog. Horace Grant, bro. Y'all really think he snitched?
Talk about it.
You think? Hey, speaking of snitches, you think he was the one?
You got that
He was
right.
the one. That man gave him that whole book, bro. He probably wrote the book and just had a guy put his name on it.
Anytime somebody says, you know what, I ain't say nothing, but if y'all want to believe it, you can. That means you did.
Bro.
You did all the talking.
He wasn't really supporting himself. Horace Grant. I mean, he just looked like kind of a snitch dude. I don't want to say that man kind of big. But absolutely, bro. And then like everybody in the locker room somewhat has something to say about that. Like you saw what MJ was saying. Like you had the same thing with what Scotty was saying to everybody else. They were saying, okay, yeah, it was coming from somebody in the locker room that's not here.
Right.
So, I mean, that was just context clues. Like you knew that shit was coming from Horace Grant for sure.
And the shade that they was throwing when they played Orlando in the regular season.
Oh my gosh!
It was like, oh, you know him? He's like, oh yeah, we know him really well. We used to see him in the playoffs all the time.
We used to see him in the playoffs.
Hey,
trash, man, trash.
Yo,
I did want to
go ahead. No, go.
Well, I did want to ask y'all real quick because I feel like we kind of did go through the Knicks conversation kind of quickly. I kind of want to go back to it real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Patrick Ewing, right? A lot of people say that he doesn't back to what you were saying last week, Reg. I know like you love saying it for some reason. People don't get their just due. Now I will say that Pat, he doesn't get a lot of credit at all. Like I feel like the bad boys, Isaiah Thomas, to your point last week, to me, I feel like they get enough credit that they deserve. We don't really talk about Pat that much.
That's real talk. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Like Isaiah Thomas on TV every day. Like we talk about them boys enough. Now, Pat, though, I would honestly, I can honestly say, if there was one person that you can say Michael Jordan did kind of ruin their career, it was Pat Ewing. I feel like Reggie was somewhat straight because he has stats and like for 3-point contests and threes in general.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of players, Charles Barkley, he had a MVP in the season. There's a lot of players that didn't win chips. To Stephen A's Steve's point there, he just put out failure, but he didn't get chips. There's some players that didn't get chips that still got their just due. They got their just due. Pat didn't get a chip either, and I feel like that was solely because Michael Jordan killed all that noise. I feel sorry for that. That's one player I can say I really do feel sorry for for Pat Ewing. You know what he's doing now, right?
He coaching
I think he's a coach in Georgetown, and them boys. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to throw that out there.
Patrick Ewing's stat line, dog, for his career. He was a 21-10-2 guy. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists a game for his career. His career high in points, 28.6. 28.6 points per game with no 3-point range. He was stretched, dog. He was stretching the floor back then for them. It was a mid-range jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Like
absolutely.
His cave boy was nice.
So wait, whose legacy got ruined the worst because of Jordan? You got the contenders would be Charles, Pat.
Nah, I think Chuck's straight, man. Like I said, Chuck
is that because of TV?
No, I mean, well,
he did.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, he got MVP. He, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like,
but should he have won the MVP?
Do what?
Should he have won that MVP?
Look,
they were saying they just got tired of voting for Mike.
According to Jordan, that's the reason why he had getting his ass during the actual finals. But I mean, I don't know what those numbers look like back then. I will Google it and see. I mean, but I always look at that number just for that one season, bro. Look, there's plenty of times that we thought that LeBron probably should have got MVP during the season like he didn't. You know what I mean? So, you know, I feel like maybe it is one of those things to where I feel like Max said this a couple of times before. I feel like the best player don't always get MVP. You know, like over these past couple of years, maybe I can say that. Here's the thing. I need that to be defined. MVP. What does that mean? What does the most valuable player mean? All right. The year that Derrick Rose won MVP, he took his team to the playoffs, and there was some damn good competitors. Like Derrick Rose,
he was the MVP, bro. Like,
exactly. He was hands down. He was the best player out there. You gave the Brody Westbrook MVP because he was averaging a triple double.
Right.
Now,
and then the nigga couldn't get first place vote the next year. He did the same thing. And listen to me. In the playoffs, when he got there, was he the most valuable player? Did he do anything for his team? To me, I love Westbrook.
To anybody. Nobody can make that argument.
I can go down the list of
he wasn't even the best player in that series.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like this definition of most valuable player, yes, they did go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I do believe that for sure, Steve. But yeah, I feel like that definition, it is league stuff, ain't got nothing to do with us. I just feel like we need to have that conversation. Because honestly speaking, if we want to be real, especially when LeBron was in the East with Miami and Cleveland, he should have been MVP every single year.
Stop, fam. Wait.
You don't think he should have?
Wait, well, hold on.
LeBron James, when he was with Cleveland.
What year? Which Cleveland stint? We talking about the first one?
Both teams. When he left, he should have been getting those MVPs. He was the reason why he was taking them teams to the playoffs.
Hold on. So 08
get to the finals every year.
Fam. Okay, so we're saying that 08.
The list of MVPs. Because I don't, you know.
So wait.
Like there were a few years where LeBron got snubbed from because like again,
I mean,
like
when are we
MVP?
But well, let's discuss it because this is interesting. What year we started? Because LeBron came in 03.
I would say it would have to be the second time when he actually got him to the finals.
He was a beast in the first. He was a beast in the first stint. But I mean, like you telling me you're gonna take Kobe's MVP away? Because if you're taking Kobe's MVP away, you can get that to Chris Paul.
We have the conversation. Let me go down the list real quick with when LeBron came in. So LeBron's first MVP was 08. That was his first one. All right. Kobe got was 07 the year prior to that.
No, Kobe's 08.
07, 08. And then it was LeBron 2008 through 2010. Derrick Rose, I feel like he should have been MVP. Then it was LeBron 11 through 13. Then you had Kevin Durant in 13-14.
Kevin Durant deserved that MVP. Come on, bro. Kevin Durant was torching the league. I still remember the TNT game when they played Miami and he broke LeBron off. Nah, bro. You did what?
Okay. All right. I'll give you that one. Well, hold tight. When did KD get to
Russell Westbrook was hurt that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Right. Hell no, bro. That was Kevin Durant all day. Westbrook wasn't even there. He got hurt.
You're right, bro. You're right. But I got based off of wins and how far you going. I always based off of wins and how far you going. That's how I
in the regular season or in the playoffs.
And that's my question. Like that award, you know, should we wait until the actual playoffs to actually give it away?
So hold on.
You got players. For instance. All right, Max. Kawhi Leonard does not turn on until the playoffs. He ain't got no MVP. Think about that.
He don't need an MVP. It's a regular season award. Why does Kawhi need an MVP? He's got two.
Like he's the most valuable player that's in the league. Wherever he goes, they're automatic contenders. Wherever Kawhi goes, he automatic contender, bro.
Oh,
That
wait.
is the definition of being valued to me.
My guy.
To me.
So we gonna give Kawhi Leonard the MVP this year because he's been load managing while Giannis Antetokounmpo is leading the NBA history in PER with the number 1 seed. We're gonna give it to Kawhi just because they might make it further in the playoffs. Is that what we're doing? With load management? We gonna give it to LeBron James when he taking 2 weeks off to go to Miami to get his HGA shot so he can come back and dunk?
Bro,
what are we talking about?
That shot's amazing.
Why are you doing that to LeBron, bro? This is my one opportunity to try and shoot LeBron a little bit of bail, and you're not letting me do it.
Because it don't make sense. Like, fam, you can't shoot bail to a nigga who built a team in a weaker conference of all-stars versus a player in Kevin Durant in 2014 who did it without his second option for most of them.
Got somebody like Luka this year.
Wait, pump the brakes. 24. Hold on, let me set this up. 2014, Kevin Durant's in the Western Conference.
They were stacked that year. I would.
How many 50-win teams was in that conference that year? And then how many were in the East? And Kevin Durant's playing. All right, and Kevin Durant's playing without Russell and still burning.
Not many East.
And they stacking up wins on freaking Orlando and Milwaukee.
Okay, then question about Steph from 14 to 16. Both of those he got.
You will get at the LeBron 2016? The blasphemy.
I said 14 through 16. You got 14 to 15 and then 15 to 16.
Man.
14, 15.
Would you still go LeBron? Would you still go LeBron? I mean, hey, look.
No. Yeah. No, I would still give it to Steph because that was a 67-win team.
Mm-hmm.
That nobody had them going to the finals the year before.
Okay, I got you.
Nobody even went to that season thinking about. Yeah, no.
Bro. He got enough then. He got enough MVPs. But to that earlier point though, when we were comparing him, MJ to a, like I said, hey, look, maybe that year Chuck was just a better player. That was where we actually came from when Chuck got that MVP.
Chuck was a beast,
so maybe he was just a better player.
Chuck was a beast though. Chuck was a beast.
Yeah, he probably, look, I was 2 years old, bro, that year. So I have no idea what he looked like during that time. In 92 when he got that MVP. I have absolutely no idea. I was 3 years old. It was 92, 93. I have no idea. But hey, look, you're probably right about that.
Okay, so
trying to shoot LeBron a little bit of bail. But yeah, you are right. He didn't deserve it over none of these players.
Dog, LeBron gets all the love that he needs, bro. He does not need you to try to shoot him bail.
You just took my phrase. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
This nigga, people say he the second greatest player in history, and it's like an insult.
Right.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're absolutely right, bro. I'm with you.
All right. So getting back to the original question is who did Michael career hurt the most? Patrick Ewing or Barkley?
I'm still going with Pat.
Okay,
Pat didn't even make it to a finals. So on top of all that, on top of not getting an MVP, but he couldn't make it to the finals ever.
But if Michael was in the West, we could say the same thing about Chuck.
Well, there's different circumstances. You said who did hurt worse.
Yeah,
I still gotta go to Pat.
Geography doesn't change.
I still gotta go to Pat, bro.
I'm interested in Stephen M. Smith's 3 to 4 years that LeBron didn't deserve MVP since 2008. So I'm gonna be looking for that in the chat. But what about Patrick Ewing versus Karl Malone, whose career got hurt worse?
Oh, Patrick.
I'm still going with Pat.
Yeah, Karl Malone. He number 3 in scoring all time? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, and he made a final.
He number 2. He made 2 of them back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, damn, that might be the odd man out for real.
It's Pat, bro. Pat is one of those Hall of Fame dudes, man. That gets no love, man.
Yeah, the only thing that stopped him was timing. Timing was the only thing that stopped him.
Hey, Stephen brought up a good point. Barkley is shamed publicly every single time he talks about basketball, basically to a champion. He gets downplayed publicly for not winning the chip.
Well, that is because Shaq's on that panel, and that's Shaq's job. It's to be the hero.
Okay, sidebar.
That is Shaq's job. Go ahead, sidebar.
Can we all admit that Shaq's not funny? He's just goofy.
I think
Chuck is funny.
Shaq has good timing.
Chuck is funny. No,
I feel like that's probably the best sports show on TV.
Oh,
I
easy.
love watching.
Oh, yeah.
On TV.
I mean,
and, like, I'm
easy.
watching for all of them. All of them being funny, bro. I love them, dude.
Okay, but it was the best.
Hilarious to me.
But it was the best sports show before Shaq even got there. Like they've been doing that.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, fact. But
Charles is funny.
Shaq and Chuck and them took it to the next level though, for sure.
Oh,
They took it to
absolutely.
the next level.
They need
Shaq
each
is
other.
funny though. Shaq is funny.
I don't know. Shaq be getting too emotional, bro. Like he started getting checked on some shit, and the first thing he do is be like, "Oh, well, you ain't got no rings like this, so you can't be talking to me." Like, come on, Shaq.
So it's funny because Shaq gets mad before Chuck gets mad.
I feel like that's what makes it so funny. I think that's what makes it funny. Is like he gets so mad, bro.
Because like you would think Chuck would be the one who would get mad first with no rings, but Shaq, you're like, man, come on, what you talking about?
You would think Chuck would get upset.
So back to the doc, bro. I did want to bring up one more other point before we wrap it up because I know like we're all over the place right now with Shaq and stuff like that.
Yeah, we are.
Back to this doc being like for me being just a doc that was a lot. It was just bigger than basketball. It was just like a lot more. There's like a lot more stuff going on in basketball. We kind of touched on the whole mental health thing just for a little minute. And like what MJ was going through during that time period. And just dealing with the media, wanting to go out and gamble, do whatever the case may be. The next thing I kind of wanted to bring up was the fact that going back to Jerry Cross again. Did y'all catch the little speech that he gave after they won that
disrespectful ass motherfucker?
You saw that little speech that he gave towards the end. He was like, it was more about the front office. It was management. It's ownership. Is all those people that right?
Yeah.
What type of person? And I'm asking y'all, what type of person do you think would say something like that? Is there some person that is insecure? Maybe.
Of course.
Somebody that may be jealous of the fame. Like, what kind of person would sit up there? And basically, I mean, that's like me, for instance, right? I'm a manager. I have a team under me. I have about 25 employees under me, right? I don't get my bonus checks or whatever unless they perform.
Right.
It's like me getting my bonus check and saying, "Yeah, I did all this by myself, man." If it wasn't for me and my leadership,
y'all wouldn't be productive.
Basically, right? So, just that whole little. And I ain't like to. They went through that little quick. I feel like they ain't really just talk about that little comment that he made. But what are your thoughts on that right there, bro?
So that goes back to the whole animosity that the team had versus him, because you have a guy that essentially put the team together minus Jordan, and he doesn't get the public credit for it. It's still Jordan's team. Even to this day, when we talk about it, we don't go back and say, oh, this is the team that Jerry Krause put together. No, this is what Jordan did. This is what Phil did. And here's a guy he's trying to go back and say, hey, no, it was me. Remember me? I brought on Phil. I brought on Scotty. I traded for Tony. When nobody else saw that Tony was good, I was the one who said that we need to get him. I was the one who traded for Dennis. I was the one who put Dennis and Phil together. I'm doing all these great trades. It's me, guys. It's me. But
so is he justified in feeling that way?
No,
publicly nobody says that. He doesn't get the public credit. So his team wins. So he at that point, when I saw it's that's his chance to remind everybody when all the cameras are on this team that it's not about the players. It's about the people who put the players in that opportunity to win.
Man, look, bro. Nobody likes to look at me, nigga, bro.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all it is, bro. Stay in your lane. They literally won a chip, and he took that opportunity when the players laid it all out on the court to down the players to big up the organization. You don't do that. That makes no sense at all, fam. Think about it like this: how many GMs do we really give credit to? It's only a handful of them. Jerry West. What's my man with Popovich down in San Antonio? took over for him. And he don't even get that much credit.
You mainly hear about from Pop when you hear organization from him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know who he think. I don't know who he thought he was. Like I think he was having an identity crisis. Think about it like this: Jerry West put together the Lakers in the 2000 run, the Lakers again in the Kobe Powell run, and the Golden State Warriors. But when we now the Clippers. But when we reference those teams, we typically don't bring up Jerry West. Some of us,
I think we do.
We'll give him. But Jerry,
no, wait. No. When the Warriors, when people talk about the Warriors dynasty, the first thing they talk about is not Jerry West. He might be number 5, number 6.
Yeah,
we'll eventually get to him. But Jerry Krause talking like, oh well, before Jordan, you're supposed to say me. No, bro, that's not.
Facts.
If the best of the best isn't the first thing that's mentioned in his dynasties, fam, no.
Let me ask you this: before this docuseries, how often have you heard the name Jerry Krause?
Not many.
Oh, in a positive light or a negative light? It kind of depends on what you asking. Yeah, I've heard his name before, but I mean, it was the man that killed the dynasty.
I got a question for you. Would you hire him?
Oh,
you wouldn't hire him? Ask the people in the chat, bro.
So the reason why I wouldn't is
tell me why you would.
Because
I need to know.
when you look at
he has a great resume.
He does.
And like he interviews well.
He does. What did he do after he broke up the team? So the reason why he blew up the team was simply to have his shot to put all of his guys together. That way he could prove that without Jordan, I'm still this guy. I'm still the guy without Jordan. And that never happened.
And we saw what happened when he didn't have MJ. I mean, he couldn't put it all together again.
I know what I would like to see what happened to him after '98. I would like to see it because I don't know, but I don't know, bro. If you're a GM,
Google Chicago Bulls record from 1999 2000, and you'll see how he did.
Right. The only thing you heard from Chicago after Jordan was Derrick Rose.
Hey,
that's how he did.
Oh, hey, look at if he's such a great GM. Look at the trades between 1999 and like 2000 and I don't know 6.
The whole time, look.
Come on, man.
You can't say he is still a great GM now. He did put those pieces together.
He did. He did. I'm giving him
credit. Duplicate it again. Now look,
and Lightning don't strike.
He was
Lightning don't strike twice. I don't think he's lucky.
Yeah, Lightning just don't strike. I mean, like, look, bro. At the end of the day, he still had Michael Jordan. I mean, he had MJ. That was the main piece on the chessboard was Michael Jordan. He was the queen, bro. Like he was the one that made stuff shake. All right, I say a queen because the queen is the most powerful piece on the board.
He doesn't understand chess. He doesn't understand chess. I got you. You're good. Thank you.
You
know what I'm saying? You don't get credit for putting the knights and the bishops there. You know what I'm saying? Not the queen.
Exactly, bro. He was the most powerful piece
I play checkers, bro. I'm sorry. I'm
bro.
I'm sorry.
But I was just curious. I was just because, like, I mean, you know, like again, this doc is digging at him, man. This doc is digging at him really, really tough. He did find Kukoc. And like, you know, although like, you know, I'm guessing MJ and Scotty, I ain't gonna lie to you. That actually brings up to the next good point. How do you feel about that? Let's say Kukoc would have came that first year. You still got Pippen there or whatever. He's not getting paid. So was Pippen probably like I know how like MJ probably felt or whatever, but they didn't really go too much detail on how Pippen really just felt about that whole thing. I feel like Pippen probably had like a real legitimate reason probably to hate this dude. It's like, dang, I'm still here. You're finding other talent and you're not paying me?
Well, that was the motivation behind that game. Like I remember when Stephen A used to bring that up. He used to always talk about how they set out to make a point to Jerry Krause that they were gonna basically turn Kukoc into nothing.
Yeah,
because he was the one that he was eyeing instead of Pippen. And so they like literally picked this dude up. Pippen picked him up first. Jordan picked him up a little bit after that. And like they just iced him out to prove a point. Same way Michael was like, Dan Marley was like Krause's favorite player in the league. He was like, oh, he was a great defender. You know, he plays for the Phoenix Suns and all that. He said, okay, cool. I'm finna ice this nigga out. Like
I'm about to do this, bro. Right, that.
And he was doing it. And he was doing it.
Absolutely. We didn't touch on this either real quick. I know y'all probably like, damn, but we like y'all's time going a little long. It's like 1:13. It's cool.
Don't worry about it.
The branding, bro. The branding. Nike deal. The shoe deal. The Olympics with him covering up the Reebok sign. All that jazz.
That was fire. Oh, man. That was such a smooth
We didn't really get into that.
That's such a smooth move, fam. The fact that
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought MJ was being petty. I thought that
was brilliant.
100%.
I thought that was petty. I thought that was petty.
What?
He was getting paid from Nike regardless, bro.
Fam.
So
that was brilliant, dog. Like, hold on. The mental
petty.
Dog. I mean, okay, it might be a little bit petty, but I'm like
I love it.
I like the move when it's like you can't say shit. Like he covered it with the flag.
Yeah.
It's patriotic. Who go like Reebok would look silly talking about, well, you covered up our logo with what? Oh, the American flag that I just want a gold medal for the country. Like that's smooth.
Check this out though.
That's business.
Do you honestly believe that if he didn't wear that flag, that would have tarnished the Jordan brand?
No, not at all.
Well, not and so it had no impact on the brand itself. But going back to the whole Tony Kukoc situation, that shows the value that he places on loyalty. He was loyal to Scotty, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all that this nigga ain't shit.
I'm loyal to Nike.
I'm loyal to the Nike brand because look what these niggas is doing for me.
Right.
So because of that loyalty, I'm finna be petty as fuck. He said, "Oh, yeah, y'all can come up, nigga. I'm gonna show you what I'm finna do."
Damn. Think about it like this, just to piggyback off what J-Rock says. Jordan has always been down for the team, even when the team ain't doing right. Fam, Jerry Krause and
I got a curveball for you.
Okay, I'm waiting for it. But Jerry Krause was saying, like, hey, we're not gonna pay Pippen. Jordan got mad at Pippen for not playing.
Yeah.
Like, he about the team, bro. He about the team, man. That shit was smooth moves for me, dog. I love that shit. But curveball it.
What is y'all's thoughts on black athletes in their political views?
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it.
There it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting on it.
Yep.
Republicans buy sneakers too.
True.
What is your thoughts on it? Because if it is a thing to where it is like a loyalty, I'm down for the cause. Do you think Jordan was right not to endorse the gentleman that was running for governor at the time, or congressman, whatever it was at the time? I need to go back and actually the actual details. Do you think he was justified in like doing that?
I was very interested to see if they were even gonna bring that conversation up. Because that's always been a black spot on Jordan's career, is that he never had he never made it political. It was always about the money, and it was always about the game. So in his comment that he made, I don't believe it was something that he made in jest.
Like you try to spin it?
Yeah, like I feel like that was spinning it because you saw what happened because of it. But I do believe that I do agree with how we said after that is that I never wanted to be a activist. I'm here just to play this game. So I can't be mad at that because like you saw what happened to Muhammad. Like you saw what happened to somebody who stood up and made it about activism. So it's like, well, I'm here to play this sport. If I become activist, they could take it away from me. So
I agree with you. I was gonna play like devil advocate. I'm glad that you did it.
Yeah, so I can't be mad about it because to be honest, if today if I make a statement saying that the way black people are being treated is wrong, and I see people publicly who say that lose everything, anybody
Colin Kaepernick.
it's gonna have some type of apprehension. So it's like, am I willing to give up everything for it? So I'm not mad at it because he did say he did privately contribute. He just wouldn't do it.
He did say that. You're right, Jay. I'm with you. I'm with
Jay on this one. I think Jordan pretty much sealed the deal when he said, I think at the end, towards the end of the doc, like, I wish I wasn't even a role model. Like, he didn't want to be a role model.
And man, that when he it was two parts of that messed me up. Because the first time he said, it's like, well, I always approach it where my game is the example. And if I'm doing something that you believe in, just follow the example. If you don't follow it.
That's a bar right there.
Yeah, it is a bar. I gotta tweet that later on tonight.
Bars, bro.
To him, his approach, his philosophy, and the way he played the game, that's what he wanted to be as a role model.
Right.
If you are committed, if you work hard, this is what can happen. Everything that happened outside that was just him living his life. And it's like, damn, I'm showing y'all greatness, but y'all looking at this other bullshit to be as the example of how to be great.
Right.
Do you think black people put too much pressure on other black people that have some type of power?
That's a question.
I'm actually ready too. He didn't sit there. He ain't saying that.
Well, because he was rolling, so I didn't want to take the rock out of his head. I didn't want to take the rock out of his head.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, my boy.
It's yes and no. So because going back to this doc in particular, you had Obama speak like, I wish he would have made it a political statement because it sends a message that other people can do it. Again, you have the example of Muhammad Ali. It's like, how many people are actually going to willingly jump on the cross and know what's going to happen to you afterwards? But at the same time, you have what happened with the media. And you saw the color of the people who's tearing you down. And the color of people who were actively tearing you down wasn't us. So, I don't feel like it's the expectation. It's us that's doing it. But once they put that information out there, it's out.
I just feel like I'll kind of jump in on this real quick. I do feel like we as a community put a lot of pressure on athletes to speak on our behalf, but it's kind of unfair because a lot of these athletes don't know shit about shit. So it's almost like, yeah, you could actually do more harm than good trying to speak on something for the culture, and you really aren't that. You don't know nothing about. Right, you're not engaged with it. You don't have you don't have your finger on the pulse. You just saying stuff just to get a sound bite, and I think that's damaging. And so, like, I don't think it's really fair to ask athletes to do it. However, on the same hand, I do feel like, and I think it was said in the chat earlier too. When you have a platform, you do have a responsibility. So, like, MJ had a responsibility with his prestige, the same way Muhammad Ali had a responsibility with his presence and his prestige. Muhammad Ali will always be loved in the culture for the stance that he made because he sacrificed. He stood up for what was right. MJ took the business approach where it's like, well, why would I say one thing that's going to alienate half of my fan base, and all of a sudden it cuts all my business ties in half when I could take that same money that I'm making business from the business and distribute it to causes that I actually know about or that I feel comfortable speaking about.
No, absolutely.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rez. Shoot. I mean, I was going to piggyback on what y'all said. I do feel like the big thing that you said, and Stephen Smith said it too, was you can't speak on what you don't know about. And with these younger athletes that are coming in, especially in the NFL, for instance, it's using the Colin Kaepernick thing for an example. You have these young athletes coming in. I know an actual football player. I mean, I'm actually pretty close. And it's one of those things to where when Cap took his stance, and then you had different players around the league, older players, Ed Reeves and like the likes of, taking their stance. Now you got these other players, because people are saying, well, if every player does it, or if every player takes a stand, we can affect change. Well, these kids are 18, 19, 20 years old, 22 years old. Some of them didn't go to class while they're in school.
Bars.
Just calling a spade a spade.
Talk
What do you know? The only thing you know is what you are around and what you listen to the music. You're not reading books. You're not listening to Roland Martin. You're not doing X, Y, and Z. So eventually, I feel like we probably should educate these young men. But I would never put that type of pressure on a man, to your point, that has like the Scottie Pippen. I have a family to feed back at home. And now, like, this is what I'm here in the first place. Now you want me to jeopardize that, in a sense.
Right.
No,
that's the real thing.
I know nothing about. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I will say this right here. I do feel like we do have a responsibility as a culture in some way, shape, form, or fashion to at least educate our young brothers, to put them into the position to where they do have some type of knowledge, especially if they do have some type of power. Maybe in those earlier days when MJ had that type of power, somebody like a Kareem, or somebody should have came up and said, hey, young blood, let me just school you on a few things. So do I blame Michael for it? Absolutely not. I feel like somebody probably should have said something to him, though, potentially, because at that point of MJ's career, I can be wrong. Maybe this is just my perspective. He was almost untouchable. I feel like almost. He was still black. But he was so great at what he was great at. He was so great at playing the game that I don't think that would have taken away from him saying what he said. I don't think that would have taken away from, him endorsing that man. I don't think that would have taken away from his fame globally at that point in the nation, because he was just that big of a brand at that point.
Right.
Was that a missed opportunity to me? Yeah, it was probably a missed opportunity. It was probably a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. And AJ does this play into shut up and dribble comment made. What's so crazy is he acted out what that comment was portrayed to be. You're just played to pay basketball, and you're not paid to do anything else. So when you look at it, this is where it comes from. It's just that mindset is like, well, I'm just here for the game, which isn't. I understand where Jordan's mindset is, but you can't force everybody to be a activist.
Yo, Newhouse body
black. I'm MJ. I'm done.
I'm not black. I'm MJ. Wow, that was fire, fam. Yo, Newhouse. That was fire.
I ain't black. I'm MJ. Dang. Hey, you know what? I'm done.
That's funny.
Hey,
right.
Funny.
That's a perfect
everything I just said.
Perfect way to address that.
Forget everything I just said. I ain't black. I'm MJ. That was funny. That was funny. Hey. Forget everything I just said, dude.
Hey, but bring it back to Ave real quick, because here's the thing. The shut up and dribble thing. Oh man, you on it. I wouldn't ask you to bring the comment up. That's dope. The shut up and dribble thing. First of all, I mean, she's an asshole. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. So no excuses. No excuses for her on that. However, I will say that had that been Ali, because she was saying it to LeBron. Had that been Ali, I very sincerely doubt that she says shut up and box.
Because she got them hands.
Well, not.
Oh, you want me to box?
I can't look. I said it earlier. We can't compare any athlete to this day unless it's Jim Brown.
Facts.
We can't compare people to what Ali did, man. Because Ali, he knew at that time somebody had to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had a responsibility at that time, and he knew that. He probably found that with the nation, whatever the case may be, but he knew that I need to make some type of a stand and say something, even if it is just like.
and
this
sing.
is what it's going to be. Oh snap! Did I lose y'all?
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. Keep it going.
Yeah, you good. Keep it going.
But yeah, so like even if it was like, okay, you know, like in his case, it was his name, you know, I'm not this is my name, you say my name, this is what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. So I feel like at that time, Ali knew that he had to abstain. These players now necessarily, do they have to? I cannot sit up here and say that they have to do anything now, because so much was done for us in the past. That's just how I feel about it. I feel like a lot was already done with the Jim Browns, with the Jackie Robinsons, with the Muhammad Ali. You know, there was a lot with the I was just watching what was the movie Glory Road with the team down in El Paso, UTEP. I was just watching it. Like something had to have happened at that time. I feel like MJ during this time period right here, it was a missed opportunity, but I don't think he owed anybody anything. I will say that. I don't think he owed anybody anything.
No, I don't think he owed anybody anything. But I'm all I'm saying in highlighting Ali versus the shut up and dribble girl is I think Ali was so secure in what he was saying, and you could tell he knew what he was talking about. I feel like she took that opportunity to take a shot at Bron just because she probably didn't believe that he really knew what the hell he was saying. He was just kind of regurgitating what he said on what he saw on Twitter, or like it's different. It's different when like you feel that shit inside of you, and you're like, I know this is wrong. Ain't no Viet Cong called me, nigga. That was y'all. Yep. But it hits different when the person's speaking, like you know where it comes from, versus like, well, dang man, is this dude just trying to get some PR shine? Like I don't think she would have said that to him. And again, you're right. Like nobody can compare to Ali. We're not even going to do that. We're not even going to play that with that man's name like that. But for Jordan, I mean, you know, look, he did what he did. He said what he said, and apparently he meant that shit. So
yeah. Hey, look, end of the day, he meant that shit. So it is what it is now. And like, you know, to what J-Rock said earlier, you know, I do, you know, I kind of hate that he said that though. I didn't really like that MJ said that in the doc. When he made that comment, I wish I wasn't a role model. I can't give him no bail on that.
Charles Barkley said the same thing.
Do what now?
Charles Barkley said the same thing. He made a commercial about it.
And I don't agree with him saying it either. You got a platform, bro.
But
we look right now, for instance, right now we are on this live podcast, Facebook Live. You have a platform. You're talking. You have a responsibility in some way, shape, form, or fashion to lead. You're about to be a father. You have a responsibility, bro, to be somewhat of a role model. MJ had kids at the time. I don't want to be a role model. You know, you can now, granted, maybe I'm going too deep into this. Maybe I'm just going a little bit too deep, but still, like when you have that much influence, he is a global icon. And you saying, I wish I didn't have this. Well, that's a little bit selfish. You know, you are. And like you've been a great example in some capacity because of your work ethic, because you have your sons, you know, like you have the kids, like, you know, we wouldn't have had a Kobe, you know, you gave us that too. So like you say, like, I didn't want to be a role model, but dang, bro, you basically just snatched a lot of kids' souls with that. So I don't think you should have said
a heartstring right there.
Man, right?
He pulled a heartstring too. I feel you.
He said, "You a father,
right?"
Damn, you right.
Just saying, man. It comes with the territory, you know. Exactly. I feel like it does come with the territory.
I understand why he said it, because he's not looking at it from what being a role model entails. He like because so for us. We started this podcast to better people, to give different perspectives.
Right.
So when we jumped on this platform, we knew what we wanted to do. Right. We knew what type of impact we wanted to have. Jordan just wanted to play basketball. So that was when he got started, that was his platform. And he didn't, to me, I feel like he didn't feel like I don't want to be a role model until the books came out, until the world tried to collectively tear him down, because he saw what the responsibility of being a role model means. The scrutiny of, just like you were saying earlier, that you have to be perfect. The pedestal that people put him on, he's like, nobody can live this standard.
That's not a bad take. So you're saying like the time frame, like the mental space he was in at the point of that book being released is what made him say that. He would have said that had that been like 1990, 1991, when he was on the rise and he was Nike'd out and killing the game.
Oh, like when it was, I want to be like Mike.
Right.
Never made that comment.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? When it was,
but he made that comment on the doc. That was like, that was recent.
But that's what I'm saying. It's because of everything else that happened after that. It was him being teared down. It is the divorce, the settlement, everything that you have to be in, being in the public eye consistently. Because, like you said, we don't see Jordan like that. And which is why, because he doesn't want to have that role. He was mad about the damn crime meme.
Thank you, A.
It was over. It was over about 3 minutes ago.
Do I now?
I thought it was over about 3 minutes ago. A dropped that comment. I was like, oh, that's a wrap.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't. I still. I mean, like I do get what you're saying, Rock. That makes great sense. Maybe he did have a change of heart. But you got to take the good with the bad. All right. And,
absolutely.
I don't necessarily believe that everybody has some chinks in their armor, bro. Like even role models to this day. You can say that, hell, we just got done praising Ali. We just got done praising him crazy. He had a whole mistress and divorced his wife from everything else. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, like, but I never heard Ali say, yeah, man, like I did that. I wish I wasn't a role model. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't hear that from that caliber of a play of a person. So you know, I do get there. You can definitely have, like, some people. You're right. They can't handle it. It's like, you know what? I wish I didn't have this. I can't handle it. But you know, you got it. And like and you did have the Spike Lee. I want to be like Mike. You said that, bro. People, yes, you're right. People want to be like you. You got it. Since you put it out there, you got to see this whole thing through with the good and the bad. We still gonna ride with you. We love you, bro.
Oh yeah. and then like for me is he's looking at it from the end. It's a lot of stuff that he's probably regrets privately that we don't know about that came along with the journey. That's why it's like, if you had to do it all over again, would you do it? I don't know. Like that statement means there's a lot of stuff that happened.
Again. That man got 6 rings. He got the hottest shoe in the game. He wouldn't did it all again.
You know,
he probably would have changed a few things, but he would have did his life again. He would have chosen his life.
Facts.
For sure, man. But yeah, I just want to get into that whole thing. I feel like that was one thing that we didn't really just touch on was that. And somebody tweeted me earlier about that. It was like, why do us as Black people seem to put that pressure on others? And like, I feel like, hey, sports and entertainment has always been, one of those things that was our outlet. I mean, Sam Cooke, we said Ali, we said Jackie, Sidney Poitier. I mean, like, you go down the list of people that like this, hey, that was our outlet. We had to find the arts. We had to find the sports to tell our story. We always had to have done that. That's one thing that we did. Now, thank God for we got a Barack. You know what I mean? Like, we got things like that now. People like that has these huge influences that can be more than just art and basketball. Now we got an actual political figure to look up to. But at first, that's all we had. That's really all we had for a good little minute.
Facts.
So,
one last thing, because I just realized we didn't actually read the comment for the people that's going to listen to this on a podcast. Well, Abe said that pretty much bodied that last segment was the episode started with Kobe calling him a role model. So,
right.
Damn. And then it ended with him saying he didn't want to be one.
That's kind
exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's facts. Absolutely. That's how we started. Like that's how we started the episode, man. So,
well, this weekend, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu.
I got Jill.
I
love Erykah. I just got Jill, man. I got Jill.
Right.
I'm being entertained. I don't care. I'm being entertained either way.
You think Erykah Badu know how to
be a good one, bro? Bruh, do you follow her? Fat Belly Bella?
No.
Oh, bruh.
Okay, so we're not gonna have problems like Babyface now.
No. Like Erykah Badu is heavy on social media. She's like I follow her. I follow both of them, but like Fat Belly Bella, that's her Twitter name. Yeah, I think it's Erykah Badu on IG, but Erykah Badu. And again, like I said earlier, I feel like Erykah Badu has that advantage because she's an actual DJ. She can spin. She knows how to work a crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she gonna play some stuff to set the mood.
Yeah.
And she a shit talker too. So like one of those things to where like after they play tracks back to back, in between the tracks, how like they got like hey, okay, I see you. Erykah Badu got like little sass. But Jill do too though.
Jill really.
Hey, Jill funny, bro. Jill
she is.
Yo, in her concert, dog, she had us dying laughing in that.
Yes, bro.
She's funny.
Bro. So it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
All right, man. Well, Speak Between the Lines podcast.
I think when I get into that, I'm just gonna mess with him off her.
Who's that?
There's no Scott without Badu. We can talk about it.
We might have to react to that next week. But hey, man, let's go ahead and wrap this mug up. Anything else you want to get out? Rock Sweet.
No, we went over everything that I want. I did want to just laugh at Barkley real quick. Because at the end of game 3, when he said, yo, I thought I was the greatest player of all time.
Oh,
then I saw Jordan.
Cut that noise. Bye. Peace. Cut that out.
This man still he said the rest of the series to play. He's like, yo.
Cut that noise.
I know I'm not getting this damn chip.
My boy had one piece of hardware when he said that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a chip. Like,
yeah. Cut that noise.
But
not out.
The hilarity of when greatness meets the road. You in the middle of the series, just like, yo, I gotta play, but I know we ain't gonna win it.
He ain't want that smoke.
Yeah.
The only thing I gotta let to say, bro, is again, a lot of people popped in and out. Like I've been inviting people to the pod. I say this every pod, man. Go back, listen to previous episodes where they're talking about some of the stuff that we got into today. Mental health, politics, black culture, things of that nature, bro. Like y'all go back and listen to some of those episodes, like for real. These brothers are dropping these gems. Thank you guys again for having me on. I really have fun doing this, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. I never remember, man. Y'all, man, we gonna get out of here. Hit us up next week. We'll react to episode, what is it? 7 and 8?
7 and 8, yep.
7 and 8.
Yeah, 7 and 8. We'll be back Monday, man. Holla at y'all. Speak Between the Lines. It's your boy Young Rez.
J-Rock.
Young Sweet, and by way of Ave, I don't know
in the comment section
or what he's doing, but yeah, man, we out of here. One.
Peace, bro.